Hi, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. So, I want to start off this video by first saying thank you to each and every single person that left me the incredibly kind messages that I got on my last Chantal video. My friend S and her family are healing and they're taking time, of course, and they're going to miss their dad forever, but it really is true what they say, that time heals all wounds. And just with the small amount of time that's already passed, I can already see some of that happening. I don't think it's going to get easier. I don't think they're ever going to miss him any less, but each day I think it gets a little easier to remember all of the good memories that they had with him. And I really do think that that helps a person get through the grieving process. I know it's very easy to feel isolated and alone in grief, and it's even more so during isolation, but all of the kind messages that you guys sent to me were amazing, and the strength that my friend and her family has shown has just, how can I feel sad? How can I still feel so bogged down by emotions when they're being so incredibly amazing and they're dealing with it in such a graceful manner? All of your love has meant the world to me. I just wanted to say that. And I want to thank everyone for all of the comments. Even the ones who weren't exactly supportive of my video were still incredibly kind and still said, I'm so sorry for your loss. And that's more than I can ask, on a video that had, 16,000 people watching? Sorry, 1,600 people watching. That's amazing for there not to have been any single person who didn't at least say that much. That act of kindness, that act of solidarity meant the world to me and to my friend, I'm sure. So with that said, I want to talk about Chantal, of course. I'm going to catch up with all of the videos that I've missed. And this is my general recap. Each individual video, I'm sure I could have gone more in depth and given my thoughts on each thing. But this is just to catch everyone up in case, you guys are waiting for my opinions on most of her videos. I'm just going to pick out the more salient points from each of her videos, and I'll just give you my thoughts on them. I will try to not be upset when I talk about her community posts regarding her potential ill health at the end of this video. I don't like having emotions as a whole. I'll be very honest with you. I find it a very upsetting concept, but to have had them and to have wasted them on Chantal makes me even more upset at myself. Okay, this video, I know that there was a live before she did this video. I could not find it anywhere. I've looked a bunch on the internet. If you guys know anywhere where the entire live has been updated, please do let me know so I can give it a quick watch. I know that a few people said that she was drinking and driving. Since I haven't been able to verify that personally, I'm going to withhold judgment. If she was drinking and driving, that's incredibly stupid. You'll see in my Virgie Tovar part 2 video that's coming sometime this week that morbidly obese people are at significantly higher risk of dying in a car crash. So please don't do that. Don't drink and drive, okay? You can do both of those individually, just don't do them together. Please, Chantal, that shouldn't be too much to ask, even of you.
Yeah, this big box. This is a gift from a YouTube friend, one of my mods. I love her to death, Finding Krista. She has a YouTube channel, so please go show her some love if you're Foodie Beauty and you would like to do that. She's a really nice girl. Like I said, she's one of my moderators, and she always spoils me with stuff. Her and Marissa. I've been missing Marissa. But yeah, so all right. I'm gonna open this, and then I'm going to have some Thanksgiving leftovers, because yes, I made the decision to go to Thanksgiving. There were 4 of us total. We went to Pizza's mom's. There were 4 people there. Then I went to my mom's, and she is, a couple of the family members there tested for COVID and they tested negative. None of us have any symptoms. We didn't hug, we didn't kiss. So I figure, you know what? That's the decision I made. And yeah.
I don't think you have any understanding about COVID and how it works. If it was as simple as not hugging and kissing, we would have already handled this virus. We have not, because that's not how the virus works, dumbass. Okay, less anger. I'm gonna have like 40% less anger. Okay, I can do this. I can woman up.
Oh my god, first item, this is all treats. Lovely. Okay, sweetie, we can't later. Oh my god, this is basically when she was thinking of things that from the US that we don't have here in Canada. And yes, drumstick cereal is one of those. I cannot wait to try this. Classic vanilla. Oh my god, drumstick cereal. Have anyone tried this? Sweet corn and wheat. Wow. Oh, that looks really good. Ice cream flavored scoops. Oh my god. Little pieces of. Oh my god. That is so good. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, seriously? Vamos. I love you, but. Oh my god, I know, like, the box is a bit, but that's okay. Cinnamon Toast Crunch Churros. Churros. She's all very excited to see me because I just got home and I've been away, like, all for the weekend mostly. Sorry, sweetie. No, little mini churros. Oh my god, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That is good. There's boring cereal here. We have a lot of junk food, but nobody does junk food better than the US. Oh, she did include some clothes. I think they were too big for her, I'm not sure. Okay. Oh, they smell nice. These are stretchy, so some nice black leggings. They're a little bit small. You are a lot smaller than me, but they're stretchy. And I think that's why you said, you know. So I'm happy to try those on. You'll probably see these in a video. Okay. Oh, okay, crisscross is at the back. So this is a nice dress. Oh wow. Yeah, that should. I'm not sure what size. That should fit. I'll try it on. I'll try it on. This is so pretty. Thank you. Again, smells very nice. This is like Christmas. My armpits are not shaved. Marshmallow fluff. No fire cholesterol, just tons of sugar. Oh, there's not that much sugar. I've actually never had marshmallow fluff in my life. Like, I swear. I just not sure. I'm gonna try this. I had a friend who loved marshmallow fluff, I think, but what is it? Oh my god. It's like marshmallow fluff. Fluffy marshmallow stuff. I don't usually like marshmallows that much, but this is good. Fluff or butter. Yeah, I think marshmallow like this. Oh my god! That tastes wonderful, honestly. I want to try the liberty. Oh! Oh my god, spicy! I love you so much, thank you. I'm gonna cry because I love your sauce, okay girl? Oh, the queen has mastered. I need to do a proper seafood boil with like huge crab legs and everything. I haven't done one. You have to try real sauce, I'm telling you. It's worth it. I don't use the whole package because for me I can use it a couple of times. But like all at once, I don't use the package all at once. I feel like some articles of clothing here. Uh-oh! Sunflower jelly. What is that? I'm gonna try it. Okay. Oh, more leggings, okay. Oh, these look small, girl. I love how you have faith in me, but I'll try them on, thank you, because I can never have enough pairs of black leggings, seriously. Oh, wow, oh. I have a lot of leggings, too. But like I said, I'm always ordering more, so I hope that these will fit. If not, I'll hang on to them because, you know. Homemade from Kansas. Smells interesting. Oh, wow, that's nice. I think it needs to be put in the fridge. That's, I would eat it just like that. Sunflower jelly. Okay. It's, hard to describe. It's a bit tart, it's sweet. I can't describe it because it's not something like I've ever tasted before, and that's why I like it. I like it. I like doing that to my taste buds. I'm gonna keep it in the fridge. Sunflowers are really good for you. I'm gonna keep that in the now. I can go on. I'll check out other products too. Thank you.
I mean this with my entire chest to the follower who send Foodie Beauty essentially a box full of sugar. Please understand that your actions are the equivalent of someone sending a crate of bourbon to an alcoholic. They are incredibly awful. You are hastening her to ill health. I hope you're proud of yourself for pushing her further along her path to the grave. I don't understand why you would do this. She is over 400 pounds, has multiple health complications, has had to have her organs removed because of complications for her obesity. She can't breathe, she can't walk, and let's not forget, she has to sleep with a CPAP machine. Do you know what that means? That means that at night she could stop breathing because of the weight of her own bulk. Stop it. Stop it. I mean this very sincerely. Stop it. You are not doing her any kind of service right now. You are actively harming her.
Pickle! Candied jalapeno? Spicy dill pickle. Okay. Steph's Garden. I love all different kinds of pickles. Oh, those smell good. I'm not exaggerating. I'm so excited right now. It's good food. I'm excited. Beauty bite. Those are good. Those are good pickles. These pickles you send me, Krista, and gourmet gherkins, you've ruined pickles for me. I now have to spend a couple $100 a month on ordering pickles from the States.
I saw this somewhere else, but I'm going to restate it here as well. Given how many pickles she seems to like and enjoy and how easy they are relatively to make, you can make them at home. Not only then could you pickle all of the weird things to your heart's desire, you could get in vegetables that you wouldn't otherwise find pickled, and you could also make tons of weird flavors. Do it yourself, Chantal. It could even be a hobby for you. My God, think of it. A food-related hobby that isn't just eating. Can you even imagine?
Oh, I'm full! I'm gonna pig out on Chow Chow later. Oh my God, okay. We don't have these. We have Bounty, Almond Joy, and Mounds. So the Mounds is without the almond. I'm getting full. Oh, this looks so good. I've always wanted to have an Almond Joy. Do we have this here? I don't think so. Shut the front door. That's amazing. Oh. I don't think we have. I've never seen an Almond Joy in Canada.
I'm going to say this only once. Bounty is superior to both Almond Joy and Mounds. All of your opinions are invalid because you are wrong. You just are. I'm sorry.
We have these. These are my favorite. I love these so much. It tastes like Nutella. I'm trying to bite of everything. Tastes like Christmas party. I love yellow. I always hated yellow. And last night I found myself looking for a mustard yellow sweater. I'm starting to like yellow. Alright. Oh wow! 4X. So this is a 4X as well. So is this like a shirt? Or a dress? Oh, the sleeves are cute! They tie! I'm gonna wear this as a big shirt. I think we're getting to the bottom. It was tiring me out for spoiling me. What is this? Never heard of this bar. It's a candy bar. Never heard of it. H&M in the clothes. We're not sitting on it. Zero candy bar. Caramel, peanut, and almond nougat covered with white fudge. Oh my God, it's white! Okay. Oh, that's good. cheese and some bread. Oh. Sam, please get out of the way, please. Please. Sam? He's like literally obsessed with those clothes. He's sniffing them and then going, stop changing. Pineapple sauce. That is full of flavor. Like, woo! Red pepper. Something spicy. Pineapple flavor. Oh yeah, that would be good. Mixing that with some cream cheese, I see what you mean. And dipping fresh bread. Oh yeah. So let me know what you guys would use that for. Excuse me! Girl, I'm gonna be eating. I'm gonna have to start eating breakfast. Crave cereal. Okay. Yes, I do buy this from time to time. This is one of my favorite cereals. We do have this here. Maybe it tastes different. Now with more real chocolate. So we don't have more real chocolate one. So if this is more chocolatey, I'm very happy. Oh my god, Foodie! Okay. He's not even really happy about this one. Excuse me! You know how plastic curious, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, get your sneak in and get out of my way. Okay. Okay. He's obsessed with those clothes. Sam! Why are you beating? Everybody knows you beat. You're gonna be sleeping on those clothes, I know it. They're not your bed, Sam. That marshmallow fluff is sticky. Fruity Pebbles. We do not have these. I've never had Fruity Pebbles. Are they good? I cannot wait. Oh, it's like Rice Krispies? Sam, I just organized everything here. Moving everything around. And you don't clean because you don't have opposable thumbs. Yeah!
This entire box was just a box of garbage. It was almost entirely nothing but that. I mean, the food wasn't even, I don't know. It just all looked like junk. Even the cereal and stuff was just junk, gross junk. I hope the dresses fit. I hope she likes them. Those were the only good parts of this entire box. And given how many clothes she wants to buy, I mean, this could be a good thing for her, you know, having a few new outfits so that she doesn't have to spend her own money on them. So I hope she likes them. I hope they fit. I know how expensive plus size clothes can be. I did some research after her try on haul.
Okay, so this is not exactly how my dinner was. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I have some pics. But I also have some... Usually with my dinner, I have cranberry jelly and gravy. And I forgot to bring leftover cranberry sauce. I don't even know if there was any left. And also, I don't think there was any gravy left. I don't have any. Plus, homemade gravy, turkey gravy is the best. So I just kind of mix my mom made this sage and sausage stuffing. And then there's turkey. There's spiral ham, glazed ham. Oh yeah. So good. So good.
You know what's weird? Thanksgiving is the one time of the year that I feel the entire country as a whole becomes gluttonous. And this is positively a normal meal for like anyone. This is such a regularly sized small meal that I was surprised to see it. It's also like really like basic Americana, you know, like a little bit of ham, a little bit of turkey. There's no gravy, but there's like stuffing on there, which I hate stuffing. I know that she really likes it. I'm sure there's lots of other people who like it. It's not a taste thing. It's got nothing to do with taste. I don't like that texture. I have a weird thing with things that are like a mushy texture. I can't stand it. I don't know what it is. I can't stand it. Anything that has like a soggy bread, like a bread pudding too. I can't do it. Just grosses me out.
I wanted to vlog, but oh, this mustard, it's so good. I didn't really because, like I said, whenever I do certain things with the camera off me, I feel sometimes I just need to go back to my normal, you know, not be Foodie Beauty, be Chantal. When I'm with my friends, be that friend. When I'm with my family, be that family member. Be who I was before I had a YouTube channel, you know, like off the camera.
She says this a lot where she wants to just be normal Chantal, but then she goes online and goes on these videos and pretends that this is how she is all of the time. I think the reason she actually doesn't want to film is because she feels awkward in front of her family. Once more, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't think the internet is real life to Chantal. As far as she's concerned, that's a completely separate thing. Like that if she wants, you can just not film one day and all of this will go away. Like I don't think she understands the concept of it is forever. Internet life is real life. you are essentially doing the equivalent of standing in a town hall and screaming all of your gross, dirty, personal things that you air out on the internet via these videos. But that's not how she sees it. That's why she feels uncomfortable filming in front of her family, because she can't be her gross, farty, burping self when she's there with family. She doesn't want to film that because we'll see how awkward she really is in human-to-human interactions.
The COVID rules are they're forever changing. They're so confusing because, like, we're allowed to have 10 people in our bubble, social bubble. We had 4 people at the Thanksgiving, including me. My little get-together is going to be 3 people. 4 including me. But they're friends I see regularly. It's not like we're having like huge gatherings, you know?
No. You said that the rules had changed and that now you could only celebrate it with Pete's, which means that you were aware of the fact that the rules had changed. They changed October 2nd. I checked. All bubbles were suspended for Canada because they were seeing like hikes again in their COVID numbers. That's why they suspended them. You chose to ignore it. You did not get confused by the rules. Don't bullshit me, Chantal. When did you see these friends? I'm genuinely curious because she's made a video every day for the past 12 days, according to the timeline of this video. We've not heard hide nor hair from any one of these friends. So where they at, bro? Also, once more, if you saw them before the 2nd, it does not matter because officially after the 2nd, you should not have been meeting them since bubbles are canceled, no longer a thing.
So Thanksgiving kind of has different meaning for everyone. Has some a little bit of dark history in it. Well, low, but...
Don't be ignorant, okay? You should be aware. I have taken history in Canada myself, fun fact. I am Canadian, if you didn't know. And I know that we were taught about the atrocities committed by colonizers towards the native people of I meant to say the United States, but what I meant to say was North America. So you're aware of that. By not acknowledging it on camera and being glib and dismissing it with there's a little bit of dark history there, you're invalidating their experiences. Do not do that. You can say it out loud on your channel, and don't do it with a mouthful of pie. Next.
Because we are going to start this recipe, we're going to melt 4 tablespoons of butter in a Dutch oven or pot of your choice. Just make sure it's a large enough pot to fit all of the onions in. I used 3 pretty large sweet onions, and I sliced them in the half-moon shape, and I'm just going to add them to the melted butter. I'm going to cover the onions, want them to cook down, caramelize, and get nice and mushy, so they're going to cook with the lid on medium heat until they're in that nice caramelized state. I have put some baguette, sliced baguette, in the oven. I'm using whole wheat, you can use white if you like, and I cooked them under the boiler. I broke them a little bit, but I like it that way, and we're going to rub a little bit of garlic, fresh garlic. So you take a garlic clove, you cut it in half, and you just rub it along the surface to give it some extra garlic flavor. Alright, so the onions are pretty much done. They've been cooking for about 15 to 20 minutes or so, and...
Those are not caramelized. Those are barely even soft. My God, girl. A really easy way to caramelize onions, by the way, if any of you guys are interested in making a soup like this, is making it in the Insta Pot. It is great for stuff like this. Normally, when you're caramelizing onions for a French onion soup, it's like a 4-hour process. But Instapot will really, really, really speed that up for you. I'll leave the recipe that I use when I make French onion soup down below. And remember, the better the broth that you're using, the better the soup will turn out overall. The onions definitely help, but the broth is the main star of that show. I would recommend, of course, homemade. But if not, just try and buy the highest quality beef broth you can.
Actually, I did something wrong here, but I was supposed to add a little bit of flour now as well, but I added it later because I forgot. Now I'm going to add some black pepper and some fresh rosemary. I'm now going to add the whole container of beef broth to the onions. Now here's where I added the flour. I was worried it was like 1 cup or something, but it seemed to be okay. So, but you're supposed to add it with the onions. So yeah, all of the measurements and everything again will be in the description on Laura's channel, so the link is in the description for that. Now we're just going to let the soup simmer as we prepare the serving bowls. Oops, I almost forgot again. Now you're also going to add the Worcestershire sauce. one bowl because it's only eating it. So I'm probably going to freeze the rest in individual portions and then I can just pull them out whenever I want them. So this is an oven-proof French onion soup dish that I recently purchased. And I'm going to use that for the oven. So if I'm placing a baguette, I'm going to try to fit 2 or 3 in there. Actually, I ended up putting 3 because this is my supper. So I'm really hungry. Yummy. Now we're going to just put a nice layer, generous layer of the shredded cheese. I'm using, I put the camera down so that I can work this, but I'm using shredded Gouda, mild Gouda. Ideally, I would use Gruyere, but you can use literally any cheese that melts well of your choice. So that's going to go in the broiler for about 5 minutes or so.
Being a Disney princess sucks.
She looks pretty good in this video. I'll give you that. The dress looks pretty nice on her. I think the makeup looks good on her. Everything is good. I mean, I still think her eating is gross. And she's got those... Why? Why does she need to eat pickles? She spent so much time making that delicious looking soup, and then she's got those pickles, and that sour acidity is just going to ruin the mild flavor, the delicious, complex, but mild flavor that like French onion soup has. I don't understand her palate. It's like the garbage plate.
I must have been a perverted kid because I used to always like think like Belle was such a snob. Like just make out with Gaston. Like seriously. The guy's buff, the guy's hot. He's a total dickhead, but...
This thing that she says about Gaston, right? Like how Belle shouldn't be so stuck up and just make out with him. I know it's a throwaway comment for her, but I will say that I've noticed a continuous trend of her just being like, well, yeah, just accept it, just go with it, right? Not to others, but especially to herself. I'll give you the Sloppy Joe video that she did as an example. The reason why she could not just say, hey, I'm no longer interested after supposedly finding out the guy might have had STDs is because as far as Chantal is concerned, that's not a good enough reason. If someone is showing you attraction and affection and wants to have, you know, intimate relations with you, then you are obligated to say yes. Because as far as she's concerned, you know, she has to, otherwise she's not going to get anybody. She doesn't feel like if she says no, that someone will come back and might come back around and be like, well, please come on. She doesn't feel she's deserving of that or worthy of that, which is quite frankly very, very sad. Right? She can't imagine a world in which a guy as hot as Gaston is throwing himself at her and she just goes, oh, I'm not interested. Because as far as she's concerned, if anyone is throwing themselves at her, then, well, she's going to go for it. And that speaks to low self-esteem, and it makes me a little bit sad for her. And quite frankly, this exact thing is exemplified very, very well in how she dealt with Swole Normus, Papa Swole. She dealt with him. She was kind and courteous and kind of like all, you know, very demure, which is not something that we're very used to seeing from Foodie Beauty. And I think the reason that is because she felt intimidated by a guy as fit and as attractive as Papa Swole is. Next.
Well, hello, guys. Oh. I have a huge bag of mall Chinese food. The best Chinese food. Oh, that's pizzas. It's almost his lunch break, so I figure, yeah, that's pizzas. It looks good. He got the sweet and sour pork. They gave us soy sauce napkins. They care about us. Got extra soy sauce. The guy wants me.
So once again, she is sitting here in her pajamas, ripping into the bag with her hands. She hasn't separated out Pete's food. She's not wearing a stitch of makeup, and there's nothing on her green screen behind her. I'm going to go ahead and say that this video is basically filmed the same way that I think one of her other videos that she did a little while ago, I'm not quite remembering, where she was also in her pajamas, was filmed, right? She just sort of got up and she's like, oh crap, I gotta do a video. She ordered the food got there, and she basically turned on the camera and started filming. That's why there's no cuts in the video. That's why there's very little effort. That's also why there's no effects on the green screen, because that would delay in her getting the video out, because once more, she's done no planning. And so there's nothing else that could go up today. She has to film, she has to get it out. Otherwise, she will have failed Vlogtober and proved all the haters right. I don't understand her. I don't understand this girl, I swear.
So here's the deal with Coldy. Buy one. Use my code. Buy one. You won't regret it if you are a big water drinker. I fill these up. It lasts me all day. I'm going to be drinking from this Coldy, though. I like to alternate them. This one was already full of water from yesterday.
I know that people like to exaggerate, but that genuinely is enough food for like 3 to 4 people. That is a crap ton of food.
Last night I was tweezing some face hair. And I found, it's TMI, but a single hair on my like areola. So I plucked it.
I don't know. She's saying it's like a horrifying dream to have like hair on your chest, but I'll be very honest. I have Middle Eastern blood in me. And to be very frank with you, we're a hairy, hairy people. There are women out there who are just born with hair on their chest, right? It's just a thing. I don't know. It's not that weird to me. It doesn't seem that weird to me. I mean, I've had a ton of friends who've had babies, and when you become hormonal, like your hair production goes into overdrive and hair sprouts up in places you've never thought of before. So, you know, I've had friends who've literally gotten like a little fuzzy belly and stuff. I personally find it really cute, but that's me, and I don't know. I'm weird, okay? Don't judge me.
I got myself some real gold earrings. 7mm ones. Because those noodles were good. And it feels good because like my ears were getting irritated from wearing fake metal. I find too after a while, if I wear a fake necklace, my chest gets all red.
I actually have this too. I have a pretty severe nickel allergy. If I wear anything that's like fake for longer than like a couple of hours, I would say my ears tend to puff up and then they'll like leak fluid. It gets really gross. And if it sits against my throat, it'll turn red and I'll get like a raised pattern where the necklace was sitting or whatever. And so what I have done, found a solution for it, is I coat everything that I buy that is not like stainless steel, silver, or gold, platinum, something like that I know might be a nickel alloy, or I'm not sure, I will coat it in clear nail polish. If it's got tiny stones, the clear nail polish will actually make sure that the stones don't fall out over time. And I've only had to recoat pieces like once every 2 to 3 years, and it's honest to goodness changed my life. Now I can buy all of the terrible jewelry that I want at like really cheap pieces and whatnot, and I can still wear them because it won't inflame my ears. It's lifesaver. As for owning real gold, once more, I've got some Middle Eastern in me. I do have some gold. I'm not a big fan of wearing it, mostly because I'm an incredibly careless person. I can, will, and have on occasion lost real gold jewelry, and it's very upsetting, mostly because I don't buy a lot of it for myself. I actually don't think I bought anything for myself in real gold. Yeah, I don't think I bought anything. But what upsets me is that it's like presents, and then if I lose something, I've essentially lost a present that someone has given me, and I hate that. I hate not having something that someone specifically went out of their way to pick out for me. You know what I mean? It just makes me feel like a dick. So I don't wear it. I don't even have any rings on most of the time. Like I don't have my engagement ring, my wedding band, because I will put it somewhere and then I will lose it, and I'm terrified of that possibility.
I also hate chopping fresh garlic because my fingers smell like garlic like for days.
Yeah, I agree with that. Garlic will like seep into your skin. I swear to God, it doesn't matter what I do. I can smell it on my hands. Ugh, I really don't like that. I realize this is a little bit more expensive, but I tend to get like the pre-peeled garlic cloves from my Italian market close to me. And it just comes in a little box, and I'll just use that for like if I'm making like a pasta or like shrimp or something like that. And if I'm making a curry, I actually go to my local Indian store and I get the pastified version of the ginger and the garlic, because I found 9 times out of 10 all Indian curries will ask you for a ginger and garlic paste, and it's easier and I'm lazy, and you can't taste the difference between fresh and the paste version in a curry because there's enough spices in there to mask the vinegar that they use in there to preserve both the ginger and the garlic.
No, this is okay. I wanted sushi from my favorite sushi place, They've ruined sushi for me. Like, I really can't get sushi anywhere else. But they weren't available on Uber Eats, so.
This was okay, she says, after having literally eaten all of it. I've said this before, I'll say it again. You are not obligated to finish food. If you don't like something, just don't eat it. It doesn't matter if you've paid for it, especially because food like this is just hastening your path to the grave anyway. Sushi as well to a certain degree, but I think sashimi in particular, it's all about how it's sliced and the quality and freshness of the fish. I understand that this is going to sound douchey, but I had the best sushi I've ever had, the best sashimi I'd ever had when I'd gone to Japan. It was phenomenal. I mean, like, phenomenal. I ate my body weight in sushi. You guys don't even know. I ate just so much fish there. And since having that, unfortunately, it's ruined sushi and sashimi for me a little bit, because I came back and anywhere I've had it since then, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's fine, but I mean, it's not like Japan. And now in my head, I do that everywhere I go. I try not to say it out loud, especially when I'm with people, because it makes everyone hate me. But legitimately, so good. Oh my God, so good. Next. Okay, so far her Vlogtober has been, like, the majority of it has just been hauls. She's saying she's planned a bunch of stuff out, but it really doesn't seem like that to me. It just seems like she's basically done nothing, and now she's just pulling stuff out of her butt as fast as she can to cover everything. I'm not very optimistic that she will be able to do this in a sustained manner. I'm not very optimistic that she'll finish Vlogtober all the way out. And quite frankly, I'm not very optimistic that any attempts that she might make at a Vlogmas will be any more successful than the attempt she's making right now. Speaking of Vlogmas, would you guys be interested in seeing me do something like that? I mean, for Vlogmas in particular, it would be like a mixture of like Christmassy recipes plus, you know, just like seasonal decoration stuff, like me like putting up the tree. It'd probably just be part of vlogs. And then of course the reacts. I will try and wear a Santa hat in all of them, but I don't guarantee it. But honestly, like, would you guys be curious if I did something like that? Would you guys be interested? Let me know down below, please.
There's nothing, before you start speculating, like I said, I'm remaining good friends with BB. So, you know, he's free to date people, whatever he wants to do, that's none of my business. We have a very mature separation, and that's how, there's no reason as grown adults that things can't be mature, you know? We didn't do anything to like hurt each other, so it's not a bitter ending. So of course we're going to remain friends. This person was an important person to me for 7 years of my life, and you know, he's been nothing but good to me, and he's a really good person. So I still really care about him as an individual, and I still have a lot of love for him. I don't know what that love is, but it's not the same passionate love that we had when we first met, but it's still love for him. So he's, you know, I really enjoy seeing him once in a while.
I understand that that's not the relationship that you have with BB, and I'm really glad that you still have him in your life as a friend, but I don't think it's healthy for you to continue to be emotionally involved with him, right? Because essentially what you're doing is, by keeping that emotional tether alive, even when all other tethers have died, you're keeping him from moving on, and you yourself are not moving on. You either need to accept and be, hey, single, free, and wild, or move into another relationship, or do whatever it is you want. But keeping this clutch on BB it's not emotionally good for her. I don't know. It just seems like it's doing her more harm than anything else. The reasons they broke up were very serious, right? He wanted kids, she didn't want them, and now can't have them. These are not small things that you can work through. By keeping this emotional tether between the two of you alive, you're essentially just keeping a semblance of hope there for a relationship that's just doomed to end again. Break it off, let it go, move on. It's the healthiest thing for both of you.
My trip, there's just like no way that I'm gonna go this year, and it really has nothing to do with my weight. I just want to put that out there because I know that's what people are waiting for me to discuss, is because I did say I want to get healthy, I want to lose weight for this trip, it's my motivation. Well, things have changed, and I don't think it was smart regardless of my weight. Like, we're just going to put weight aside. It's not smart to make plans to go on a trip to another country during a pandemic. Now, I also see people say, well, you order out, blah, blah, blah. That's like completely different than going to another country during a pandemic. Like, you're never going to be able to eliminate risk 100%. It would be really, really difficult. Not eating out, like even getting your groceries is risky, right? Because you can, even if you're wearing a mask, like people touch the food and you have to disinfect everything, and you know, you can do things to minimize the risk as much as possible, but you can't fully eliminate it. It would be very, very hard. So I just don't feel comfortable. Like, I don't feel like it would be the same. We'd have to wear our masks in certain areas, and maybe, I don't even know what the cases are like over there. I don't even know if there will be even a flight. They're canceling a lot of flights. There's probably not even going to be a flight to Dominican Republic. Like, it's just, the reason I'm saying no is because I have to make a decision for this group planning and make the full payment, which is like a few $1,000s, because I'd be flying first class. I want a big roomy seat, but that's not, it's like, I don't want to pay all that money. And whenever I ask them about getting a refund or credit for another trip, you know, generally we could get credit for another trip, but they gave me kind of like a vague, shoddy answer that I'm not comfortable with. So I don't know. I've never flown with this company before. I just, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to, I have to pay that all like next week. And then the trip is in February. Anything could happen by then. I don't feel comfortable with that. I would rather just book a flight like last minute, knowing that things are okay. So once things with COVID are okay, I'm definitely going to be going on a trip. And I'm pretty sure that the first trip I go on, I'm going to make it probably to Jamaica to see my aunt, because I've been promising her for years and years, and I'm just going to stop making excuses. And just go with it, you know?
I 100% agree with her. She should have 100% canceled that trip. It's not safe right now. Don't be traveling, sitting in a plane, going to places where you can't control the environment. It just, in COVID times, it's not a good idea. And I know it sucks, especially for countries that depend on tourism for a lot of their revenue, but that doesn't mean that you should be putting your life and the lives of others in danger. That said, I think she would have found another reason to cancel, even if COVID hadn't been a thing. I mean, just look at this Jamaica trip. She's talking again about how she wants to go to Jamaica, but let's be very honest. She's been talking about doing this trip forever, and it has yet to materialize in any kind of significant way. The reason for it is Chantal is really good at planning. She's not good at much else. But I do really feel for her here, right? I've never shared this, I think, on my channel before, mostly because my channel isn't really about me. It's more about the reactions. And, you know, that's fair enough. But honestly, traveling is my premier joy in life. It is the one thing that I spend money on, right? It's the one thing where I don't try and skimp out. It's the one thing in my life that I think I have the most amount of appreciation for. I don't go to 5-star Michelin restaurants. I don't buy a bunch of really fancy things. The majority of my clothes are all from like the thrift store. I don't buy fancy purses. I used to buy makeup. I don't even do that anymore. I don't own any art. I don't own a house. My car is a piece of crap. And I'm fine with all of that. None of that means anything to me. The thing I spent all my money on, quite frankly, is travel. And you know what really sucks, man? 2020 was gonna be my year. It was gonna start off with a trip to Hawaii with my friends. Then partner and I were gonna go to South Africa and Madagascar for a few weeks. Then we were gonna go to Dubai and Southeast Asia for a wedding. It was gonna be awesome. We were even thinking of doing something in Christmas. You know, we were like, we'll go somewhere cold. Maybe we'll go back to Europe and we'll go to Switzerland or something. You know, partner has a whole bunch of time saved up. I have some time off too. And well, you know what they say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right?
I need to have one right now. These are the best I've ever had. They're fresh. They're seasoned deliciously. Pretty bite. So, what grape leaves are, they're grape leaves in like a brine. And inside they're stuffed with seasoned rice.
Okay, I've seen a few people commenting about the grape leaf things and how that doesn't sound very good. Not just like comment section people either, but like on Twitter and whatnot. But those are called dolmas, first of all, and they are amazing. They are so good. That leaf is tart. The filling with the rice on the inside is so delicious. Sometimes they have meat in them too, but more times than not, they're just rice and spices. They are one of my favorite things. I have eaten an entire meal that was just like 12 grape leaves. They are, there was a wedding once where they served that as an appetizer, and I swear it took everything in me to not just follow the waiter around and being like, please give me your tray. I wanted to eat nothing else at that wedding. Those are just, they're one of my favorite foods, and I don't know how to make them, which is so upsetting because I haven't been able to eat them for like months and months and months, even well before COVID. My husband's not a big fan of like Greek food, and so we just never got around to it. And now we can't, and I'm sad.
Bad asthma runs in my family. So the hospital's been trying to... My family doctor has told me that the hospital didn't have my change of phone number. They've been trying to reach me to get some pulmonary testing done. See how wheezy I am? No matter how fat you are, that's not normal.
I want you guys to note this coughing fit, okay? Remember this for the end of my video, okay? Just remember it. Keep that in your mind, okay?
How is she so fat? How are you so judgmental? And how are you such an asshole? I'm sorry, but would you guys not rather be fat than be a shitty human? You could lose weight, but you can't change the karma you're gonna get from being a total dick.
I would agree with her here. Being fat does not mean that you're a bad person. I would give you Hungry Fat Chick as a great example of that, of someone who is fat but is incredibly lovely. Actually, CherryBerry Weight Loss, whose channel I just did a What I Eat in a Day review, she's like that too. She's heavier, but she's an incredibly lovely person from everything I've seen. You, Chantal, are not one of them. You are fat and you're also a huge dink. So no, ma'am, that is not true. You are really heavy and you have a shit ton, no pun intended, of bad karma coming your way.
You can't, like, you can't say it's self-harm, because if, let's say I was like eating, I don't know, I don't eat like huge quantities of food, but eating huge quantities of food is not good for you, whether you're fat or skinny. So in that logic, you would have to demonetize everybody who's eating large quantities of food.
Bitch, where? Yesterday you got on camera and ate enough food for 4 people. You're gonna sit there and tell me you don't eat huge amounts of food? Get out of here with your nonsense.
As self-harm, and even then you would have to prove that it's causing them self-harm, because you don't know what they're doing outside of that to maintain their health. It could be something else they're doing. It could be what they're eating outside of camera. Like somebody could be eating a huge meal mukbang, and then if they got off the camera and did everything healthy, it wouldn't be as bad. But if you're binge eating, which I still struggle with at times, if you're binge eating, it could be that's doing it. You'd have to prove so many things, and the people's medical history is none of your business. People's medical records are none of your business. What people eat is none of your business. Obesity is a very big issue right now, and there's a lot of different reasons for it. So, I don't, like I always say, I don't think people wake up and say, I want to be obese and harm myself, and you know what I mean? There's a lot of genetic predispositions in there as well. There's a lot of hormonal things that go on. It's not just, I'm just going to go on a diet. I ate too much for 30 years of my life.
No, I disagree with this on a fundamental level. The vast majority of obese people are not obese because they have hormonal problems. That's actually a very, very small minority of people who have some sort of hormone-related issue where they gain weight, right? Like hypothyroidism. And the rest of the host of reasons why people become obese, such as being very low socioeconomic status, don't apply to Chantal. Chantal has a ton of money, and Chantal has the ability to address a lot of her problems. She chooses not to do that, and that's on her, right? She picks her own problems. You can't do anything about that. But the majority of people who are overweight and or obese, there tend to be very good reasons for them, especially people who are as morbidly obese as Chantal is. You don't get to be that point without having some mental health problems. And for most people in that state, it's very hard to treat because you don't tend to have a lot of money, and psychiatric help is extremely hard to come by. Even if you have insurance, it's hard to come by. Chantal doesn't have any of those excuses. The Canadian healthcare system has provided her with a ton of help. She chooses not to avail herself to any of it, and she chooses not to listen to anybody else's advice or directions. You can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves.
You know, it's, I would say having a better character is, you know, better than, and yeah, I've said some bad things in the past, but it's always been when someone has come for me first. I've never just sat there and talked about other people. I don't do that.
Bullshit. That is bullshit, ma'am. That's all I'm gonna say. It must be really nice to have such limited insight into your own actions.
People don't have to like it. You know what I do when I don't like something and I can't stand somebody? I don't watch them. Like, who has time for that? There's so many other things to do.
Yeah, it doesn't take me that long to clean my house, Chantal, and I don't think it's all that difficult. But then again, I'm also not carrying around, 280 extra pounds of weight on my body? Next.
I put the meat, some chicken, and beef, I think, or both. So I'm gonna let them boil for, ready? Same time right now. Okay, this is for the knuckles. Yeah, it goes with the spice and everything that we make later. I'll put them later in the sauce. And this is the onion. Good, I will put them when the chicken starts smelling good, and the meat good. So, here it is, I'm gonna let them boil. You can see the oil coming up. I'm gonna let them boil for a long time. Now I'm gonna cut the basil, freeze it, and then add it here. Add the spices, put them way in there, and those are the spices I'm going to put in. And the salt will be magic here. Good. Now I put the cassava in the boiling water, and let it cook until the oil comes up, and then add the knockoffs, meaning the spice. It's here, ready? Yeah. I'm heating up a little bit the red oil, I'm going to add inside, and I'm going to add this fish too, for taste. You can put fish or, you can put fish and meat together, or just meat, or just fish, but you can mix them. So yeah, I'm gonna put them in water, let them cook a little bit, and then add them in the sauce. Now I'm adding peanuts, the ground peanuts, but I'm gonna ground them more in here before I'm adding them, so they're gonna be more consistent. Yeah. So as you see, I have the oil of the cassava mixed with the meat up, so I'm gonna let them boil like that. So I added the knuckles, the spice, goes here, and I added the fish too. So I'm gonna let it cook slowly. And then add the wet oil. Just added the wet oil. It's important not to mix for everything before the oil gets really hot. So yeah, I'm gonna wait until it's cooked, really hot before mixing it, and let it go until it's ready. And here is the cassava sauce. It's ready. Yeah, I did some experiments by adding tomato paste and okra powder, so the meat won't stick in between your teeth. And I will let Chantal let you know what the chicken was. And there it is.
There's a very short video and I have very little to say about it. All I want to say is it looks freaking delicious. It actually looks like saag, like the Indian saag, and I love saag. It looks super delicious. I would 100% eat that, and it's very kind of BB to have done this for her. Next.
Alright, to start my sauce, I'm going to try cooking the homemade spaghetti sauce in this Dutch oven. Now they want you to put it in the oven for 5 or 6 hours, so we'll see how it goes. Putting a bit of olive oil to just heat up the bottom of the Dutch oven here, and then I'm going to add my meat for cooking. This sauce has a mixture of meat, ground beef, and ground pork. Alright, adding in the meat here. I'm just going to cook it until it's nice and brown. Now, the ground beef is medium, so fat content, and ground pork is kind of fatty, so I'm going to have to drain this beef and pork before adding anything else. So I'm just going to brown it, let all the fat get out of it, all the juices, and drain most of it. Yeah, so as you can see here, there's a lot of fat. Now, there is a lot of flavor in that juice, but it's good to drain it. If you're watching Italian tomatoes, the whole tomatoes, which I will crush up. I'm using 1 small can of tomato paste to make the sauce a bit more thick. And I'm going to use a can of crushed tomatoes, because that's what I have in my pantry. I'm also going to add some Worcestershire sauce. Alright, so the onions are done, and I'm going to now add the tomatoes and the spices and herbs. So I'm adding the whole can of tomatoes there, and what I'm doing here is just crushing them with my spoon. Be careful when bursting the tomatoes, you don't want to get it in your eye. So I'm just going to crush those down so they cook through, cook better. And then I'm going to add the can of crushed tomatoes. And I added the whole can of tomato paste as well. I ended up adding, I'd say, maybe 2 cups of water to this. I'm just going to stir that around, and I'm also adding some basil. I've added a Italian blend, which has like oregano and other herbs. And I've added a bit of nutmeg, a bit of white sugar, salt, pepper, a little bit of my accent MSG, and I'm going to add 2 bay leaves and put it in the oven with the 2 bay leaves. So I'm going to put the lid on, put this into a 375 degree oven for however long. I think I'll keep checking it and stirring it every hour. And it did cook for a total of 2 hours. I can tell you that as I'm editing, I ended up cooking it for 2 hours total. I didn't need 5 or 6 hours. Alright, here the sauce is fresh out of the oven. You can see the bay leaves there. It's pretty much done, I would say. It's the consistency I like. It's a nice, thick, rich meat sauce. The whole house, on every floor, sounds amazing. So it's cooking for a total of 2 hours. So just check your sauce and make sure you're not overcooking it.
That sauce legitimately looks very, very good. I would 100% eat that sauce. That said, if you're making this at home, what I would also do is toss a few beef bones in there and let that cook down as well, because all that flavor from the beef bones is going to seep into that sauce even more. It's going to give you that delicious mouth-coating umami-ness. Oh, so good. I really want to make it now. It's making me a little hungry. I'll be very frank with you.
I tried to do the best I could for makeup, but that's the best I could do. And I have some Chow Chow, because I love Chow Chow, to eat it just like that.
Why is she wearing that wig? I don't think I've ever seen David Bowie in anything that resembles that wig. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even fit well, and it makes her head look weirdly shaped. Why would you spend so much time making that lovely looking sauce and then ruin it with pickled garbage?
Actually, I'll probably film. Because for some reason, it's a hit or miss with YouTube. They don't want to monetize certain things. Who knows these days? But it's usually always monetize my videos, but not my live streams. Like some of them they will, but my last one they didn't monetize. I have a feeling it's because I was talking about my weight.
Ma'am, you said the C word. That's probably why you were demonetized. The fact that you don't seem to see that is absolutely confusing to me. You've had a bajillion videos talking about your own weight loss, and none of them have been demonetized. Therefore, this video would not have been demonetized because of your weight. But you did call somebody the C word on camera. I'm pretty sure that's why you were demonetized. Good God, woman.
Probably freezer, because tomorrow we're going to be eating something I made for the party. I have a lot of candy. I'm giving a lot away. Now, I was thinking of making little Halloween treat bags, because I have these little treat bags, and I have I didn't put them all together yet. So I was thinking of making up some treat bags with candy and putting a $5 bill. I'm just going to getting $100 worth of $5 bills and just making little treat bags and giving them out to homeless people. You know, because they're asking for money, so give them some money and some treats. They might appreciate having a treat late at night, you know?
I think that's a great idea. That's a very, very kind gesture. I know that a lot of people are going to be like, well, she's only doing it because she wants to be seen as a good person. I don't care. There's still going to be homeless people who are going to get benefit out of this. So if you're only doing it for performative reasons, keep at it, Chantal. That's all I have to say. What I will also add, though, is I think Charlie mentioned that you should put some socks in there. Charlie Gold. Yes. Great idea, especially in Canadian winter. Fantastic idea. I would also throw in those little travel size or full size if you can afford it, toothbrushes and toothpaste and some deodorants and some personal wipes. I have been informed by people who know much more about this that those are kind of things that they really need and that are very helpful for them. So that's all I had to say about her videos. It was mostly just mind-numbing stupidity interspaced with moments of extreme rage for me personally. That said, let's get to her community tab posts. I will put up screenshots of whatever I have. I don't have all the screenshots, and quite frankly, I've gotten most of these from Twitter. I sleep at normal hours, and so sometimes I miss a lot because she's up at funny hours of the night and she posts stuff and deletes stuff. You know how she does. our dear Foodie Beauty, fun fact, is going for a COVID test. You know why? Because she's running a fever and she's feeling extremely exhausted, and she thought it would be a prudent thing to do. If only you'd known that you weren't feeling well before you went to 2 different Thanksgiving with people. If only you'd known that you weren't feeling well then, huh? Wouldn't that have been nice? Wouldn't that prudency have also helped you then? No? Because to me, it seems like she's willing to do this now when it's impacting her own health. But before, when there was food at stake and she didn't care about any of these other people, well, who cares then? Let's just go, right? It's not like it would be her fault if they got sick and died, right? Chantal? Are you not going to admit that? That if you do have COVID and you went to those dinners, and if any one of those people got sick, there very well could have been because of you. Because you weren't wearing a mask. And you sat there next to people, some of whom you don't really know all that well, and you ate food with them. Probably were disgusting about it too. So that would be your fault. If they get sick and something happens to them, that would 100% be your fault. Nothing to say to that? And then she goes on and she puts up another edit saying that she's probably sure that she doesn't have it. She only has some exhaustion and she only has some, mild symptoms and some fever and body pain, whatever. I think she just said like she's just feeling exhausted and she has a sore throat or something. It doesn't matter, right? And also you're a fat liar, dude. You're a big fat liar. Because do you remember that coughing fit that she has in the car? Remember when I told you to keep that in mind, right? That coughing fit where you couldn't breathe and you were wheezing? Those aren't symptoms all of a sudden? They were concerning then. Your doctor wanted to talk to you about it. But now that you're going for a COVID test and want to deflect attention away from it on the internet, all of a sudden they're not a problem? What? You're really going to tell me that with a straight face? Shut up. Shut up, you liar. Where was this energy when you were going to Thanksgiving dinner, huh? Where was this abundance of caution when you were putting other people's lives at risk for food? No? None of that for them? Only for you? That's the only person you care about then? You and your cats? That's it? All right. I'm done with this, mostly because I gotta go to sleep and I'm tired and I don't want to talk about Chantal anymore. She infuriates me. This lady infuriates me. Oh, she's just so upsetting. I don't understand the way her brain works. I've said it before as much, I think. I think Chantal is a bad person. I don't think she's done very harmful things to others yet, but she's careless because she doesn't care about them. I think that she's a bad person through negligence. That's how I feel, and you can't change my mind. I'm sorry. You just can't. Anyway, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Give me a thumbs down if you hated this video. Leave me a comment down below if there's something that you think I should really, really know. That rhymed and it was accidental, but I'm going to take credit for it anyway. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when I post. I've linked all of my social media down below. I've got my Twitter where I pop off occasionally, my Instagram where it's mostly just what I'm doing in the day and also the foods that I eat. And I've got my Patreon. Think of Patreon as like a tip jar for the internet. So if you like what I'm doing here, throw a few coins at me, please. You can pretend I'm your court jester. I would appreciate it. Don't feel obligated under any circumstances, but if you do, I would really appreciate that. Once more, remember, I am Jasmine, the sequel, and I'm just not relatable. Peace.